Hello and welcome to the 41st episode of Tuesdays at 2. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. British Standard Time, and 8 p.m. on mainland Europe. Spring is in the air. As you can see, these beautiful flowers surrounding me today. And outside, it's gorgeous, even though where I live, we've still got plenty of snow that probably won't go for another couple of weeks. I live about an hour and a half north of Toronto, but spring is in the air. So my name is Martin Buckland. I am an executive career management practitioner. I manage and advance the careers of senior executives and those who aspire to be business leaders. I'm also a global expert in managing and advancing the careers of EMBA, Executive Master of Business Administration candidates and graduates, Sloan Fellows, and I'm also a global expert in mining because where I live, Canada, is the backbone of the global mining. So as I say, spring is in the air, so that's very apt for our topic today. Spring clean your social media. So you must all have social media. If you want to advance your career, you want to promote your skill sets, your assets, and your attributes, you have to embrace social media. You need to be on social media. Failure to do this will result in your career floundering and be stagnated. So if you want to broadcast exactly who you are for virtually free, use social media. But like anything, it needs a tune-up. You take your car in to have your tune-up. You have your furnace, your boiler tuned up. You need to tune your social media. So the three main channels I'm going to be talking about today, the platforms, are definitely LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. There are others, but I would suggest that you concentrate on those two. You don't want to spread your wings too far. Those are the ones where career decision makers make their decision on whether to call you for an interview or not. That's where they do their research. So be on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Be active on all those three platforms. It's first impressions count. When we're out, if we're allowed to go out from lockdowns like we're hearing right now, you make your first impression on somebody when you meet them. Or even in the case of a Zoom or a Teams or any other platform, you made your first decision within a split second. You don't get a second chance to make that first impression. It's also reputation management, and the whole of social media revolves around social management, so reputation management. So if anybody's got any questions, please shoot a message on me, and I will answer them as we wrap up this Facebook Tuesdays at 2. So keep your profile up to date. I see so many profiles where they are totally out of date. One thing that I make an impression on, and everybody else will make an impression on, is your picture. Now, there are many professions. I won't mention one profession is known for this, in having pictures maybe 10 or 15 or even 20 years ago. How scary is that? You need to have up-to-date, current pictures. And today you don't need a professional photographer. You can get somebody to take a really good picture on your cell phone and then put it on your social media. So don't spend huge dollars on having your picture for your profiles. Just make it sure that it's professional. You are in professional attire. You look professional. You look to where you want to be. If you're an executive, business casual or even a suit would be appropriate. But make sure your picture is up to date. I don't want to see something that's 10 or 15 years out of date. You are gone. What does that tell me if I was a decision maker, if I was an HR professional, or I was a recruiter? I'd be vastly disappointed in that. So your reputation revolves around a lot of things. So keep your pictures current. Thoughts? Let me just click on this. Great question, George. Thoughts on Indeed? Well, Indeed is an aggregator. It's a job board aggregator, which is I wouldn't be 100% on any job board, as I've mentioned in my previous Tuesdays at 2. Advertised jobs are only a small percentile. So we'll come back to that at the end, because that's a very valid point, something I like to tackle. If you've got something you would like me to ask or other questions, please ask them. So keep all your contact info up to date. Now, when you're in career transition, you want to get the maximum exposure, but you also want the maximum impact. You want an executive recruiter, if they're trawling through LinkedIn profiles, they want to call you straight away. So on your LinkedIn profile, during your career transition, make sure you have as many contacts, methods of contacts as you can. Definitely, without doubt, have your phone number, because the first thing they want to go the easiest route is pick up that phone and give you a call. You can take that phone number off, but make sure that phone number is current. It puzzles me. It's mind-boggling. The number of resumes or CVs I see with outdated phone numbers, and they've gone obsolete. So you can't even call that person. It's out of date, or it's taken by another person. How unprofessional is that? And then they wonder why they're not getting a phone call. So make sure all your contact info, if you've got a personal website, put that on LinkedIn. It has a huge facility for your contact info. And then when you land a job, you can scale it back if you want to. I would suggest, as a career management practitioner, that you keep all that stuff active, because if you've listened to me before, you should always manage your career 365, 24/7. Look after number one. Look after your career. You manage your career. So make sure you update all your contact info. Make sure you have a customized LinkedIn URL. If you are on LinkedIn and you have the default, and I know when you've got the default because you've got numbers and letters after your name, that tells me you haven't customized your LinkedIn URL. So you need to go and customize your LinkedIn URL. Take those numbers and letters out after your name for 2 reasons. A, it's far more professional, but B, this is the killer. You will get an extra 400% Google algorithm visits just to your LinkedIn profile if you do that. So customize your LinkedIn URL. Go after this conversation, after this episode, go and have a look at your LinkedIn URL. Did you customize it? Has it got numbers and letters after your name? If so, you haven't customized it. It takes you 2 minutes and it's free. And have your telephone number, as I said just a minute ago. You need to think professionally. You need to think as a viewer. So what would people, if they saw any of your profiles, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, what would they instantly think of you? Would you give that professional aura? Would they want to read further? Or is it scrappy? Is it not good? Is it not fully complete? All those platforms give you the opportunity to fill in a bio. And remember, everything you put on in those bios is also Google. So it's Google friendly. The more you put on those bios, the more people are going to hit you. So you need to fill out everything. Fill out everything. Maximize it. So what would a decision maker think If they looked at your LinkedIn profile, they looked at your Facebook, they looked at your Twitter, would you give an unprofessional vision? Would they want to go away and look at somebody else, another candidate? Or would they be wowed? Would they want to pick up that phone with that phone number and give you a call? That's what you want to do. All these platforms are a sales tool. They are a platform to allow you to portray your professionalism, exactly who you are, your soft skills, your hard skills, and everything else. Because remember, as I've stated in many, many times on my Tuesdays at 2, as soon as you enter a job search, you are selling Joe Smith, Martin Buckland, or anybody else. You are selling yourself. You have that platform. Those platforms are part of your sales proposition. Never miss out on a sales opportunity. So review your platform bios. Go through them, and each different platform allows you a number of different characters, but fill it out to the maximum. So make sure you seduce, you entice the reader at the other end, because Google can help you. The more you fill out, the more Google algorithms will pass over your platforms, your profiles on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and you will get more intrigue in exactly who you are. You want to get to the top of the pile. You always want to be the number one candidate. You want to be in that talent pool when they're looking for talent just like you, because everybody watching today, and there are quite a few people watching, has a skill set, a unique skill set. And that's all part of your brand, your personal brand. So update the headlines. Everything, the world is revolving. In fact, it's revolving pretty damn fast right now. Every minute it changes because of what's happening in the global economy and the world, COVID, etc. But everything changes. Your headline, as you go up the ranks, as you go up promotion, will change. And if you are in career transition, tell them that you are in career transition and that you are actively seeking your next challenge. That will send off the radar, and they will say, "Oh yeah, that guy is available right now." You can have the green semicircle around your picture to show that you are available. So fill in all the about sections. So the maximum number of characters, and as I say, each platform has a different number of characters. Update your employment on LinkedIn. Just blows my mind again on people haven't filled even their last 2 employments, and then they dropped off at 2014 or 2018. Well, what am I going to assume instantly if I was a recruiter or an HR professional? That you haven't worked since 2014 or 2018, but you have. So make sure you update your employment. Do yourself a favor. If you're not updating constantly on social media, you aren't doing yourself a favor. It takes a little time, but that little time will bring huge, massive rewards. If you are on groups in LinkedIn, and the week before last, I talked about groups on LinkedIn. Facebook have lots of groups as well. Make sure they're still relevant. As you go through your career, you shift maybe function, maybe industry or whatever, some of those groups may become obsolete. So a little bit of spring cleaning, make sure you clean them out, and I would suggest that you replace them with groups that are more relevant to where you want to go. Groups are a huge resource to you to find or to generate leads. Use them. If you want to find out how to use them, go to my YouTube video and you can see how to use them. Get recommendations. Now, you have to have recommendations on your LinkedIn profile. If you have 0 recommendations, boy, oh boy, that sends the red flags off. They'll be waving red flags, and they will maybe bypass you. You need to get recommendations, about 5 per position. You can have recommendations, get people to recommend you on other platforms too. A recommendation is worth gold to your career management and your promotion, your career advancement. Next one is Google yourself. When was the last time you Googled yourself? Many people have people that don't get along with, or whatever, for whatever reason, and those people could go on Google and create a very negative impact, a very negative session with you. You don't want to do that. You want to have everything important to you that is going to bring value, not a negative but a positive. So that's called digital dirt, and there are ways to eradicate your digital dirt, but it takes a little while. It doesn't happen overnight. So make sure you Google yourself. See where you are in the ranking. Actually, it's pretty exciting for some. Unfortunately, if you've got a common name like Joe Smith, it's very, very difficult. But there still are ways around to get into the top 10. I've done that with one of my clients. His name was Ray Smith, which is very common. And he got in 2 positions in the top 10. He was on page number 5 or 6. So review what I've told you. Review your conversations on social media. Keep it all positive. Try and keep it out of politics. Try and keep it out of religion. If you talk about too much politics and too much religion, somebody from the other religion or the other political parties won't like that. And you're creating that negativity. Yeah, many people in the last 4 or 5 years have blasted off at various politicians and applauded various politicians. But you know what that really is, in my opinion, as a career management practitioner, a negative. Keep them out of the way. Yeah, you might have these affiliations, this religion, but don't broadcast it too loudly. Keep it. But you need to talk about how you can help people. What are your skill sets? Broadcast. It's for free. So review all your blogs, review all your conversation, but be active. Be active on social media. You need to embrace social media to manage your career. Thank you, Micheline. So if anybody's got any other questions as we wrap it up, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Doesn't have to be related to today's topic, spring clean your social media. But bearing in mind, I'm always available for you. I will be here for you. I will be here for you next Tuesday. I will be here for you the following Tuesday, or you can email me, and I'm pleased to answer your questions. I am also pleased to provide you with a free, no obligation, 30-minute resume critique and a LinkedIn audit. Because as I said earlier on, you only get one kick of the can, one mistake, one negative comment. You can count yourself out of many, many opportunities. So hopefully you've got some good information today. Social media is the way of the world. If you aren't on social media day in, day out, when you're gainfully employed, it's less important, but you should still be on social media. You need to, when you're in career transition, you need to be on social media all the time. It's also another way to find leads. And that's another topic in another Tuesdays at 2 coming up very soon. So let me put my glasses on and see what the next Tuesdays at 2 is. So next Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, I've been terminated. I am shy and scared about what people will think. I have been terminated I am shy and scared about what people will think. I will put that to bed. It's okay in today's world to be terminated. I'm Martin Buckland. I'm an executive career management practitioner. I manage the careers of senior executives, those who aspire to be business leaders, executive master of business administration, Sloan Fellows, and everybody in the mining profession. I am here to help you advance your career and manage your career. What are you going to do in this week to manage and advance your career?